Hi guys, welcome to your lesson on meiosis. Meiosis is a form of sexual reproduction. So we started off with mitosis, which is a form of asexual reproduction. And so we're going to do some comparing and contrasting between mitosis and meiosis throughout this lesson. So a little bit of review. You already know that when you have two cells combined during sexual reproduction, they produce offspring. The offspring is made from one cell that has genetic material only from the father, and the other cell's genetic material comes from the mother. Okay, so we're going to expand upon that. In human cells, most human cells, which are also called body cells, have 46 chromosomes. Half of those came from mom and half came from dad. That means 23 from mom and 23 chromosomes from dad. Any cell that has the full number of chromosomes is referred to as a 2N cell or a diploid cell. Remember, the prefix di means two. So if you think of divorce, that's two people coming apart. Diverge, two things moving apart. So again, any cell that has the full number, which means it has two sets, is referred to as a diploid cell or a 2N cell. And what do you think would happen to the number of chromosomes if body cells combined? So here is a diagram that shows you the chromosomes. And you notice there are 22 chromosomes, and then you have a Y or you have an X. The Y chromosome represents a male, and the X chromosome represents a female. So if the baby is a boy, then you have the Y chromosome. If the baby's a girl, it will have the X. Okay, here is a haploid chromosome and a diploid chromosome. So the two sets, 23 each, make the diploid on the right-hand side. The haploid is just one set, so that could be either from the mom or from the dad. Okay, so reproductive cells. When two body cells combine, they make reproductive cells. Reproductive cells are called gametes. And gametes are cells that contain half the usual number of chromosomes. One chromosome from each pair instead of two, and are called 1N cells or haploids. So back to this picture. Haploid chromosomes, those are gametes. So those are either sex cells that are from either mom, which are eggs, or sperm from dad. And the diploid is when you have the 46 total. So human gametes contain 23 unpaired chromosomes. Gametes are found only in the reproductive organs of plants and animals, and again, in females, the gamete is in an egg, and in males, it is sperm. Here is a diagram just showing you the gamete formation. So you start up at the top with two female, two male, and they split off into two female, two male, and then those two split off into one each. And those are gametes. The pink ones would be eggs and the blue ones would be sperm. So during sexual reproduction, two gametes combine to make a 2N cell. So remember, gametes are 1N, haploid. So they come together to make a 2N cell that can grow into offspring. Fertilization is when the egg, which has 23 chromosomes, and the sperm, which has 23 chromosomes, combine to form one new cell. That one new cell is a baby. And yes, you were once a single cell. It's the coolest thing ever. So here, humans have 46 chromosomes each. Okay, again, you get 23 from dad, 23 from mom. And a zygote, which is the cell that forms, is really just a baby at fertilization, has 23 from mom, 23 from dad, equals 46 to make a new human. So here we get into mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis starts off with a 2N cell. Okay. DNA replicates, and you notice that it's the same in meiosis. 2N cell, DNA replicates, makes a 4N cell. That 4N cell, remember, pinches in half at telekinesis and makes two diploid cells. Same thing happens in meiosis. Notice that meiosis continues on to an extra step and creates two more of each of those things and ends up making haploid cells. So meiosis makes more sex cells, either more sperm or more eggs. Whereas mitosis doesn't. It just stops and makes more body cells. So skin cells and hair cells and any kind of cell but sex cells is mitosis. So mitosis review quickly. You know that the body cells divide by mitosis, which produces two identical daughter cells. Each daughter cell contains exact copies of the chromosomes in the parent cell and is a diploid 2N cell. So in short, in an easy way that you could understand, mitosis makes every kind of cell in your body except for sperm or eggs. Meiosis makes only sperm or eggs, or new and egg combined. So in order to produce gametes, eggs and sperm, which are haploid, a different kind of division is necessary, and that is meiosis. During meiosis, a cell goes through two divisions. It goes through Meiosis I and Meiosis II. Remember, meiosis only takes place in the reproductive tissues of an organism. Okay, so Meiosis I, without literally reading over every single one of these things, which you can do, I just want you to notice how similar this looks to mitosis. Prophase I, metaphase I, anaphase I, telophase I, and two daughter cells are created. Ask yourself, is that the same or different from mitosis? It is exactly the same as mitosis, but we're not finished yet. So, just another quick overview. Meiosis I, there's interphase. The cell is growing and chromosomes duplicate. That's the same as mitosis. Then we have prophase I, okay, where the chromosomes attach to the nuclear envelope. The pairs, we have 4 X's forming, and then crossing over, we'll watch the quick little video on that in class, so don't worry about that for right now because you won't be able to click this link in the video. But prophase is the same exact as in mitosis. Then you have metaphase. It's the same as in mitosis. The chromosomes line up along the cell's equator in the middle of the cell. Anaphase, they break off into little V's and move to opposite poles. Telophase, they split off and cytokinesis happens. And then, so that's the first division of meiosis. And if you notice, meiosis is with mom's chromosomes and dad's. Remember, 23 of each. So we only need 2 different colors here. We have moms and we have dads. And this one, moms are shown as blue and dads are shown as yellow. So you have interphase, which looks like spaghetti. That's where the DNA is all uncoiled. Prophase I, the DNA coils into X's. Metaphase, the X's, which are chromosomes, half from mom, half from dad. They line up in the middle. Anaphase, they split apart into V's and move towards the poles. And telophase, they split in half. Then Meiosis II, the only difference is there's no interphase. It moves right from telophase into prophase II. Prophase II, same thing. Metaphase II, same thing. Anaphase II, same thing. Telophase II, same thing. Notice I'm not even giving you time to read it because I want you to know that it's the same thing. But at the end of Meiosis II, there are 4 daughter cells, each with 1/2 the number of chromosomes of the original parent cell. And you'll notice that, and that'll make sense to you in just a second when you see a visual. Okay, now look at the diagram, mitosis. Parent cell, DNA replicates, you've got 2 daughter cells. Meiosis, you have a parent cell, DNA replicates, you have 2 daughter cells. And then those 2 daughter cells each split in half again. So you now have 4 daughter cells, except you now have 4 halves at the end. So you have haploids. All right, second division of meiosis, prophase II, metaphase II. This time you have 2 cells at the same time going through this. Because at the end of Meiosis I, you ended with 2 cells, just like you would in mitosis. Now those 2 cells each go through it, and that's how you're able to make 4 cells in the end. So comparison of mitosis and meiosis. The purpose of mitosis is growth and repair of cells. So skin cells, hair cells, blood cells, all different kinds of cells. Whereas meiosis, the purpose is reproduction. There's only 1 division in mitosis. There's 2 in meiosis. The parent cell is 2N in mitosis as well as meiosis. That's what you start with, remember, the parent cell. The daughter cell, there's 2 in mitosis, but there's 4 in meiosis. And those 4 are one ends because they are sex cells. They are gametes, haploids. Whereas in mitosis, you end with 2 daughter cells, and they're identical to the parent cell. They are 2N. Mitosis, they're called somatic cells, or another word for somatic cells is body cells. And meiosis are reproductive cells. Again, here's that same diagram for you just to show you. You start with parent cell, they're both 2N. DNA replicates. You have a 4N cell. That 4 splits into 2 in mitosis, and it splits into 2 in meiosis. But then meiosis, those 2 split again into ending with 4. Here's another diagram. This time mitosis is on the right, just showing you the same thing, only now adding the chromosomes in. Okay, so we have mitosis and meiosis shown again, ending with 2 in mitosis and 4 in meiosis.